Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom, welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, they call him the boat. I want to thank the people for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting you champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. You know, this show is all about, the people, man. It really is, man. But I just want to put that out there, man. How you feel, dog? How you feel?
Book, I'm doing all right. I'm coming off we're coming off a Glory weekend, reality wrestling Glory, which was awesome. I had some NXT names.
I was working. You know what I mean? I had No Mercy. So I just wanted to put that out there too. But go ahead.
No. Hey, and we got to talk about No Mercy. There's a lot of NXT news we got to talk about, and I can't wait for you to react to it. But it was great. All the people in the house who came out, showed up and showed out. So we had WWE ID talent, we had NXT talent, we had former NXT talent, we had reality wrestling originals. Everybody came out to have some fun on Glory Saturday. So I want to shout out to all the people who attended.
For me, man, seriously, on a serious note, there again, man, I want to send my condolences to Corey Graves, and hopefully things get better for that kid. But I know those F5s, man, they didn't just hit him; they went down to his soul. I'm talking about all the way deep down his bones. You know what I mean? So I know right now he's still recovering. So there's a spot at the desk on Friday night. So I just want to make sure, if anybody need to know if I'm available, I'm available.
You available?
All right. I just wanted to put that out there.
So, because that's what happened last week on the show. We said, hey, would you answer the call? You said, yeah, I'll answer the call if they call, and they called. You were there. So you're saying if they call again, you'll be down again.
Look, Laney Reed went down, right? Laney Reed went down for that speed match, and Jada Parker had to step in. She almost cashed in. And my thing is this, you know what I mean? Sometimes you win by attrition. Sometimes you just got to be ready when the phone rings. You know what I mean? You got to be Johnny on the spot. So for me, I'm available to step in and do it just one more time, because I ain't gonna lie. It felt good. It felt good at the desk, SmackDown, the old SmackDown kingdom, the SmackDown world, a place, a utopia that I had a hand in creating. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to put that there, man. Yeah.
Okay. Look, they call you again. They're gonna call you again.
A utopia. And
I know you were talking about everybody going to the Nebula. You were talking about all the great stuff.
Let me make sure I write that one down. I'm gonna say it this week. Utopia.
But you know what I was gonna say, Book, is remember when they called you to do NXT? It was just a fill-in for like a month or two, and then you've been there for 4 years, whatever. I'm just saying, don't say like you'll be down whenever, because you could be the voice of SmackDown and NXT.
Hey,
then you're really on the road.
Look here, man. If the check's right,
that's right.
If the check is right, you know what? Real true wrestlers, we don't leave no money on the table.
That's true.
We really don't. That's just part of our DNA. If it's a job to be done, like Superman, you go in the phone booth. There it is. You ran back and you put the cape on and you go out there and you get the job done. So for me, man, like I said, I'm like a doctor, with the stethoscope on. I'm the painter with the brush. So I'm just ready to get this thing done if need be. If the call comes, I'll be prepared.
Well, look, I'll say I enjoyed you on SmackDown. There's a lot to talk about from that SmackDown show. There's some NXT news. We have a new NXT champion. We have a departure from NXT that I want to talk to you about. We talked about Reality Wrestling Glory on October the 11th, Reality Wrestling Platinum. And then on October the 19th, Reality Wrestling and Maxo Cream at the Home Run Dugout.
Yeah, baby.
You want to make sure you go and get tickets for all of those events ready now. And I also want to shout out them boys, the Texans. They went out there and they got their first win of the season. So we're excited and happy that the Houston Texans were able to go out and get the job done on Sunday. They shut out the Tennessee Titans. And so that's great. And then today, Book, I went down to Toyota Center and I got to see the introduction of Kevin Durant to the Houston Rockets. And boy, man, can I tell you, I've seen KD play in person, but I've never been that close to him. That boy is tall, man. He is a tall guy, Kevin Durant is. And I like what the Rockets are looking like for this upcoming season. So you know what? It turned out to be even though the Astros got eliminated, turned out to be an okay sports weekend.
How about them Houston Texans, man? When I did shut them boys down. You know what I mean? I saw my commercial on CNN. I think that's what it was, man. I hyped up the city. I hyped everybody up, got everybody on point to go out there and throw up their H's and walk away with a victory, man. And it felt good. It felt damn good to walk away with a victory.
So I want to say this, and because it was literally on my run sheet to ask you about, and one of our super chatters got it in. So I'm going to actually bring this in early because I'm just about to ask this. So it's serendipitous that we got this super chat. Mike Woodson says, if Bad Bunny plays the song Booker T at the Super Bowl halftime show, how would you react to it? My question was going to be, Bad Bunny was announced to be the halftime performance at this year's upcoming Super Bowl. He did win a Latin Grammy for the song Booker T. If that call came in, it's an automatic yes. You'll be at the Super Bowl, right? This is going to happen, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think if you play it, I might get an invite. You know what I mean? Just to stand there, just throw it up. You know what I mean? Just throw a little something up. So I'm so fortunate, man. How many times have I said it as far as talking about staying relevant? And I've said it many, many times. Sometimes staying relevant have nothing to do with you. It may be somebody else that's keeping you relevant. And somebody like Bad Bunny, if he was to do something like that, it would be huge. It would be huge. It would be such an awesome, deal, So, but I'm not banking on it or anything like that. But hey, it was like the hottest song, of the year, So put me on, dog. Yeah, put me on. I'm in.
Man, here's what I'm excited about, though. The Super Bowl is coming. We also heard Zuffa Boxing just signed a deal with Paramount Plus. They're going to be giving us boxing every single month on that service, along with UFC coverage. So there's a lot of sports news coming on, man. I'm excited about that Zuffa Boxing because their first fight was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the third biggest fight money-wise in the history of the sport. 72,000 people at Allegiant Stadium. Say that's a pretty good way to start off your boxing product.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a lot of people happy. It's a lot of people very, 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 very unhappy with this deal. This is going to change the whole way boxing has been run for many, many years. A lot of players are going to, fade away in the dark and perhaps never be seen again. One thing about these guys, they got unlimited amount of money to put into something like this. I think the fighters are going to win at the end of the day. I truly believe the fighters are going to win out of a deal like this because the fighters has been, the ones that's been, left at the end of the day with nothing. Just because the promoters, the Don Kings of the world, they came in, man, and they took so much of these guys' money, you know what I mean? Don King, his motto was, I'm going to show up with the champion. And I'm going to leave with the champion, no matter who it was. You know what I mean? The deal was inked before the fight that if my fighter lost, I'm promoting you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. So now those type of deals there, I got a chance to talk to Turkey Al-Sheikh about this, this one thing and the Ali Act and making it better for the fighters. I'm fortunate to actually have had that opportunity to do something like that along with Pat McAfee. In New York City, baby. In New York City, I'm moving uptown. But no, it was awesome to talk about how it's going to be to now focus more on the fighter's afterlife, more so than just putting these guys in the ring. 4 times a year, 3 times a year? Let's get as much as let's squeeze as much out of this orange as we possibly. That right there, I appreciate. I most definitely appreciate that.
I'm excited to see what happens, especially with the UFC as well in that realm. And you know what, Book? Speaking of that, I wanted to also say that I'm so glad that the situation with Terrence Crawford over the weekend didn't turn worse. I don't know if you read that. There was a story in The Guardian that came out today that Terrence Crawford, as a part of his victory parade or shortly thereafter, he was with some buddies. They were driving in a car. They got stopped by the officers. I guess Terrence had a firearm in the vehicle with him that the officers noticed. So they ordered Terrence and all of his buddies out at gunpoint in Omaha. You know, he's like an Omaha hero. And it could have been worse. The head of his security detail allegedly said like they were in fear of their lives at one point. So I'm glad that situation, the headline didn't read differently than what it did. But it was a scary situation for Terrence Crawford, you know, according to that Guardian article. I hope everyone goes out there and checks that out because, man, that really did not sit well with me.
No, I didn't see that, man. I didn't read about it or anything like that. You said it just came out today?
Came out today, yeah, a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I missed that. But hey, man, it's America, man. It's America. You got to be on point, dog. But we got to take a break. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Fellas, let's talk about confidence. The kind of confidence that counts when it's time to step up and deliver. And that's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets designed to help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer lasting erections. We're talking about getting in the game and staying in it.
And you know what they say, man. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And with Blue Chew, you can take these chewables anytime, day or night. So you're always good to go when the opportunity strikes. And the best part, the entire process is done online. No doctor's visits, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at a pharmacy.
Ooh, yeah. And Blue Chew is putting their money where their mouth is, offering you a whole month for free. It's simple. You sign up at bluechew.com and consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once approved, you'll receive your prescription delivered discreetly right to your door, made in the USA and ready to go when you are.
Now, Brad, let's get real. Does it work, man? They'll mistake you for a soldier at full salute. You'll be pitching a tent like a true Eagle Scout, man. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That's the mission, dog.
And listen, confidence is key, especially when you're all bricked up. There's nothing sexier than a man who's ready to go. And at bluechew.com, they can help bring that energy when it matters most. Don't miss out on what could be the best night of your life. Make life easier by getting harder. Discover your options at bluechew.com, and we've got a deal just for our listeners. Try your first month absolutely free. Visit bluechew.com, use the promo code Booker, and there's more details and important safety information. And as always, we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Hall of Fame podcast.
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, man. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. Hey, man, we just chopping it up, talking about everything that went down over this past weekend. No Mercy. Of course, reality wrestling definitely went down. Ricky Saints, the brand new NXT World Champion. Hey, we haven't been saying NXT World Champion before, right?
We've just been saying NXT Champion.
It just started, right? I think the NXT Championship is a world title now.
Okay, that's news.
Well, I mean, that's what I've been seeing that. You know, it's been.
Let me see how it's listed on WWE's website. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, no, but Ricky Saints, man, big ups to Ricky Saints going out there and doing that. Big ups to Obafemi as well for going out there and being able to quarterback that thing so well at such a young age in the business, so to speak, as far as only being in the business, 3, maybe 4 years or something like that. But being able to go out there and be able to be a general inside the square circle and outside of that ring area is so impressive. It really, 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 really is impressive. And one thing I've always said about true artists, guys that really pick this up and do very, very well, your losses got to be better than your wins, or just as good. And that dude went out and he lost just as good as he went out there and take a W any day of the week. I commend Obafemi for literally picking this business up and understanding it. I hope so. I hope and I wish for so many more of these young guys to be able to take it and pick that up, because he doesn't go out there and do a whole lot in the ring, but everything is just so impressive. Everything is so believable. And he has come, like I say, there again, such a long way in such a short amount of time. Big ups to both of those guys. Great job.
I had to go back, obviously, and watch No Mercy later on. So the ending of that match got spoiled for me by Instagram, which I'm not a fan of, but I went back and watched the whole show. Several matches stood out to me, but that one, especially with Ricky Sainz, because even though it felt like there was some momentum behind him, I did not think that he was going to be the guy to knock Oba, the ruler, off the throne. But what a hell of a match that they had. And to me, Ricky Sainz, this is a guy who was not on television in AEW for like 10 months. He sat on the sidelines doing nothing.
Yeah.
And now he's the NXT champion.
Persistent
days. Well, you know what? I looked on WWE's website. It just says NXT champion.
Okay. All right.
They may not have changed it yet.
Maybe that's a mistake. People been, I've read that a couple of times today. And I go, wait a minute. When do we start saying that? I've always said the NXT championship.
That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
All right. Somebody will tell us differently, I'm sure, if we got it wrong. But, let me ask you this, though. When it comes to Oba Femi, the next step for Oba, obviously, after this incredible reign, maybe there's got to be a couple matches with Ricky Sainz to wrap the year up. But come January, Royal Rumble, right? It's time to put him on the next level. There's not much more he can do in NXT. And I just feel when you have that ruthless aggression that Oba Femi has, he needs to go ahead and find his way with the big dogs.
Well, let's just say this. I think Oba can run with the big dogs. He can do it right now. Do I think he's ready? Yes, I do. But there again, I'm not running the show. I'm not pulling the strings or anything like that. But I like everything about Oba Femi, and I think if they were to pull the trigger with him, I think he'll do very, very well. I really do.
He's just one of those talents that when you see him, you don't even have to say anything. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to explain it.
I mean, like I said, I explain him as a generational talent. He could have worked in, several different eras. You know what I mean? 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, of course. He's a generational talent. He really is. He's one of those guys that would have excelled working junkyard dog. I'm serious.
I know exactly what you mean. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And to me, Oba Femi now losing the NXT championship, it's hey, let's wrap this year up. You know what I mean? And then come Rumble time, look, wouldn't this be great? Just imagine this. We got Brock Lesnar back, right? And I know there's always the Oba Brock stuff, but just imagine Oba Femi. He doesn't have to win the Rumble to be a made guy, right? Doesn't have to happen. I'm not saying Oba Femi wins the Royal Rumble, but can you imagine Brock's back in the Rumble going on another tear, and Oba is the guy that eliminates Brock from the Rumble? Just that one moment, what that could do for Oba, right? And no one would question it. It immediately put him in that conversation. Yeah. I could see the elimination chamber thereafter, and maybe something significant at WrestleMania. It's very possible. There's a short path for Oba. And Callie Tony was talking about Oba versus Gunther. I think that's another great match that Oba can have.
I mean, like I said, I think Oba fits on the main roster without any shadow of a doubt. I think he can work with several different guys. I think it's like one of these, changing of the guards times in WWE right now, as far as, seeing guys, come in there and get a push when before it might have been a little bit hard for him, especially with the women. With Charlotte Flair was, Becky Lynch, Bailey, had everything, on guard. And then all of a sudden now you got, Julia, Roxanne Perez, and, Stephanie Vaquera, so you can see the changing of the guard with the women a little bit. And I think with the men, guys like Randy Orton, they can't run forever.
No.
And you're going to need guys like Oba Femi to come in there, and guys like, Ricky Sainz, guys like Ethan Page, come in there and, take it to the next level. So, no, man, I'm loving, the shifting of the way WWE is going right now.
What did you think of that Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe match?
I thought it was very, very entertaining, especially with the scissors, cutting the hair. And, I got so much heat from that. I got so much heat from saying, she ate the glamour, she doesn't need the hair.
Why did you get heat for that?
I don't know, man. People, talking about, Booker T, having his hair, he wouldn't want, people to say that about him and all of that, but, people, come on, man. People need to be real. understand that it's a wig shop on every corner. All right.
Especially for the women's, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh man.
It's a wig shop on every corner. It can be fixed. It can be fixed. No, man, but I thought it was a good match. I thought Jordan Grace getting her leg back, and that's what this thing's all about too. You know, it's not about just going out there. It's about the stories, and I think the story was warranted. Jordan going out there and getting her leg back. Yeah, so I thought it was pretty good.
As far as the rest of the core, was there anything else from No Mercy that stood out to you? We talked about Sol Ruca and Jada Parker. I actually wanted to talk about that. The 5-minute stipulation for the Speed Championship, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because 5-minute matches is actually part of the curriculum at Reality Wrestling, but this is a different style of a 5-minute match. It's supposed to be more action as quickly as you possibly can go. As a performer, would you have enjoyed working within that format? Something tells me no.
Well, it's just not my cup of tea, but if I had to adjust to it, I think I could. You know, I think I would. I don't think I'd work that match no different than a 30-minute match, other than it'd be a little bit quicker. But I still think it would have to be places where we slowed it down just a second to get to where we're trying to go. And that might be at the 2.5 minute or the 3-minute mark. You know, so I would still be thinking from that perspective. And not, you know, just throw the handbook of professional wrestling out of the book and just say, let's go out here and see how much we can get into 5 minutes. I'm not going to do that because I've had 5-minute matches and you could blow up in 5 minutes. You could be like so tired, like you've worked an hour-long match and you're like sucking wind, wondering what the hell happened, you know, because you just go and try to run as fast as you can for 5 minutes and see what happens.
You'll get blown sky high.
You're going to blow yourself up sky high, you know, so for me, matches like that, you still got to know how to pace yourself. So, I like them.
All right. And my final question for you, No Mercy, NXT, what happened? You have the inside scoop. You should know who it is. Who attacked Lola Vice?
I don't know.
Who did?
I don't know.
Nobody was walking around there in a hoodie that day? You didn't see anybody in a black
I was at the desk or in TV locker room. No, I don't know who did it. I didn't try to find out who did, you know, because I don't want to ruin it. I want to find out just like you do as a commentator, you know, as an analyst, you know, so I want to find out, oh my God, man, that's who it was. You know what I mean? You know, so no, I'm going to sit back, wait and anticipate who it was. Just like you guys. How about that?
Okay. Well, I have a theory on who it could possibly be, but I know we're running up against
the break. You got like the, you know, the Zapruder film and everything, you know.
I'm what's his name? Garrison from JFK. I'm Kevin Costner's character. Jim Garrison.
Yeah, man. No, man. I don't know who it was, but I thought the action. And who stole the show, from my point? That boy Javon Evans. That boy get bouncy. I'm talking about it. He's a hell of a talent. I'm talking about put the rocket on him, send him straight to the moon. Hey guys, we got to take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man Brad Gilmore, and today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With EarnIn, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
EarnIn is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make EarnIn part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to EarnIn.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download EarnIn today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with EarnIn now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom, welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, baby. Just talking about what went down at No Mercy. And like I said, that boy, Javon Evans, he's a hell of a talent. He's put himself as far as in position to really come up in the business. He's put himself in a lot of precarious positions too, because he's thrown a lot of caution to the wind, and you know he's taking that damn table out. I don't know how many times I'm sitting over there with Dale. You thinking, but not, he's young, 22 years old or something like that. I really see nothing but a bright future for this kid, and I think now getting past Josh Briggs is I think that was his stopping point. I think now since getting past Josh Briggs, sky's the limit for that kid. I want to see that kid with the title around his waist. And I think it's going to happen pretty quick. I really do. Seriously.
Well, I mean, look, what we saw from him, not only that night, but even against Sammy.
Oh, man. That was such a great match.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm serious. I mean, just to go out and get that experience, be able to download that knowledge, to be able to take that experience to that next day, with Josh. It's such a great experience, because I know what it felt like for me getting the chance to get in there with, like the great wrestlers, guys that been around, guys that I've been watching on television for years. I'm sure, Javon feel that same way about guys like Sammy. And you actually hold your own. When you leave and you go to the hotel and you go to the room, it's a certain feeling inside saying, man, I don't know, man, maybe I can do this. Maybe I am pretty good. As well as then you get the props, from guys like Sammy saying you did go out there and do such a hell of a job. So now, man, I kind of like feel, that the goosebumps from, what that kid is going through, almost. Kind of like walking in his footsteps, kind of like, in a way. It feels kind of crazy.
Man, I mean, I can definitely see the why would you would think that, just him being so young and knowing. I guess what's also exciting about him is he's only going to get better, and he's so good right now, and and really once all those things get put together, boy, do you have a really special talent there, and he's only going to mature and just he's going to be pretty incredible to watch whenever he finally does make that main roster debut, which who knows, it could happen sooner rather than later. Let me ask you two other things. One, I want to talk about the NXT women's division. A few things. We saw JC Jane retain her women's championship. We also saw Kehlani Jordan go become the new TNA Knockouts champion. Kehlani is somebody who I've always really liked on that roster. Even her run as the North American champion, I remember her and Sol Ruca having a hell of a match a few PLEs ago that opened the show. That was kind of one of those top matches. What do you think about Kehlani being the new TNA Knockouts World Champion?
I want to commend Silver more than anything. That dude understands what business is all about. It's not about.
Talk about the president of TNA.
Yeah. The president of TNA. My bad. Carlos Silva. He's a hell of a dude. And for him to understand what business is all about, I think is what's cool more than anything. Seeing someone like Kehlani Jordan go over there and win the championship, she's gonna have to lose it. You know what I mean, to somebody over there. So stock rises both ways. And I think right now TNA is definitely on the cusp of really being able to grow over this next 3 years. With this relationship with NXT and WWE. Kehlani Jordan, she's an up and coming star. She's got such a bright future. She was so close to winning that breakout tournament. But things didn't go away. But my thing is, I look at someone like Kehlani Jordan, like I look at someone like an Obafemi. She came in, through the NIL program. She's only learned television wrestling. She's had no independent wrestling experience, and she's someone who's picking the business up pretty fast. Someone like a Tiffany Stratton, same thing. when I look at talent like that, man, I don't shun upon them or anything. I don't frown upon them or anything like that. I say, man, let's just put more energy into these guys and see if we can really take them to that next level from a growth of, expanding their knowledge from a psychology perspective. And I because I see the program is working, just because I look at Obafemi go out there and work, with Ricky Saints, and I watched him quarterback. I watched him throw the passes and run the routes. I'm sitting here at the table and I'm in awe. So when I look at someone like a Kalani Jordan, who stepped up and put herself in position for that to happen, because it don't happen unless you put yourself in position. You got to be talented enough for the companies to say, well, let's go with this person right here, this guy, this girl. You got to be talented. So Kalani Jordan has put in the work, and I'm proud of her, man. I really am.
I think that she's somebody too who, as you said, she put in the work. She looks the part. She wrestles the part. Her work is, every time I see her, I'm so impressed by her. She's somebody who we were talking the other day with the director of reality wrestling, Kevin Bernhardt. He was like, man, who would be a cool person to come down to NXT? I was like, man, I'd love to see Kalani Jordan.
Come to reality wrestling.
Come to reality wrestling.
I want to make sure we get the plug. Go ahead.
Yeah, come to reality wrestling. I'd say I love Kalani Jordan. This was before she won the title. I thought that she would just be excellent at it. And so I'm happy for her. And you know what? Ash by Elegance, even though it was a short run for her as the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion, she did a lot with it. I saw her all over media. She went to do several media dates and spots and appearances. So congratulations to her on that run. And I'm sure she'll be getting that title back soon. So TNA, I agree with you.
Yeah. Did I read something about Ash saying she was retired?
Very well could have. I didn't see that.
I think I saw something about Ash saying she was, about to hang it up and retire from wrestling. I could be wrong. On that. If not, because I thought Ash had, did a hell of a job going out there rebranding herself, in TNA and becoming Ash by Elegance, and with the Elegance brand. I didn't get a chance to actually see what they were all about until they came to NXT, but I thought they were doing some pretty good work. Yeah.
She's doing some good character work. Yeah, I don't know what the reason she vacated the title was, but I'm trying to find out. But I don't see anything about retirement, but she did vacate the title.
Okay. I could be wrong, but I thought I read something about that.
Maybe she's taking some time away. I don't know. I don't know what happened with Ash by Elegance. But, like you said, where one person goes down, you win by attrition. Kalani Jordan was there, and it's like, hey, let's put the title on Kalani.
That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it goes. But I think it'll help. I think it'll help the brand.
What do you think of Jasmine Nix? Jasmine Nix announced that she was not re-signing her WWE deal. I guess the money wasn't right. Allegedly, that's what I think maybe she said. I know she was playing soccer overseas for a time and was getting some money that way.
Yeah.
I think that
the money is gone. In essence, the money wasn't right. As far as the Knicks mix go up, but my thing is, you got to respect. What's her real name? I don't want to call it. Jasmine.
You know what? I have to look it up. I think it's like Jade something. I don't know. I'll find it.
I don't no disrespect or anything like that. But you gotta understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, Jade Gentile.
Jade Gentile. Yeah, Jade probably was making some money over there doing the soccer thing. Probably was making some money with the modeling, deal also that she was doing. Not the OnlyFans or any real modeling.
Not going to OnlyFans.
Yeah, she said she wasn't doing that as well. So I respect that. But you got, my thing is also you got to look at yourself. How much time have Jasmine been on television? If I'm not mistaken, I think she said she had 4 knee surgeries.
Mm-hmm. I
think she said she had a broken nose. That's a lot. That's a lot of time not in the gym, trying to figure this thing out. So I'm not saying, she wasn't a quick learner, or anything like that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, injury is your worst enemy in this business. Time off is your worst enemy in this. It really truly is. So for someone like Jasmine who hadn't even gotten a real run to have had 4 knee surgeries in NXT's program. I don't know if any of those knee surgeries came, with the volleyball. I don't know. But I'm just saying 4 knee surgeries are going to set just about anybody back. And that's going to screw your money up a little bit. I don't care if it was football basketball, baseball. In football, you get injured. See if they're gonna sign you next year to that same contract. You better wish you Tom Brady, somebody like that. Otherwise, they're gonna be looking to cut you, cut that money somehow. So I understand Jasmine Nix, but I understand, I don't know how much money she was making, but I know those contracts start at a base rate. I do know that.
I think someone said it was like 75 or something along those lines, but nevertheless,
75, these days is not a lot of money to a lot of people.
To some people, it's not. And if she's making more money elsewhere, I understand that. I also thought that she had a tremendous upside, and I thought that maybe she could turn
What do
this.
you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
What are you talking about?
Upside.
Upside. I said upside.
You said upside.
I said upside. Yeah. She had a tremendous upside.
She had a big upside. Okay, we gotta take a break, man. We gotta take a break. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Hey, this is Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Fame. I got something for you guys, man. Look, when I was a kid, man, cereal was my jam. But now, since I'm a grown man, I'm looking for something that gives me more than just a sugar rush and carbs, man. That's when I found Magic Spoon. Look, it's a cereal that gives you the taste of your childhood favorites, but without sugar and packed with tons of protein.
And if you're already a fan of Magic Spoon, then you need to listen up to this because I've got some big news. Magic Spoon has taken that amazing cereal that we all love and turned it into high-protein treats. These new treats are light, they're crispy, and they become my go-to snack, especially before or even after the gym.
Yeah, man, every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and only 4 grams of net carb. That fruity and cocoa flavor are the classic ones, but there's a whole lot more to try, man.
And those new treats, they've got 12 grams of protein and come in flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Perfect when you're on the go or you need a quick snack to fuel up before that workout.
Yeah, man, I keep a box in my gym bag, but it's a great late night snack as well. Those treats have that crispy texture, great taste, and the macros that make you feel good about eating them.
So Magic Spoon's bringing back those nostalgic flavors, but without all the stuff that we don't want. So if you want to try it for yourself and get $5 off your next order, go to magicspoon.com/HOF. That's magicspoon.com/HOF. Or you can even find it on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store.
That's magicspoon.com/HOF for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. We're getting closer to wrapping this thing up. Where we want to go here? Where we want to go?
Well, I feel like we have to address you were there ringside on SmackDown on Friday night, and there was a main event for the women's triple threat. Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Champion, which, by the way, I got to chat with her last week. The interview's on this channel. Jade Cargill, the Storm herself, and Nia Jax. They had a triple threat match, main event, big spot, and there were a couple errors and issues and injuries that happened. Yeah. And it was really the talk of the wrestling world, at least in the online community, with Jade having a horrible gash above her eyebrow. I mean, right on the brow, split in the place that you definitely don't want to have happen. I'm sure she's good and stitched up from that. And then there was a little miscommunicado there at the end, and you never want that to happen. And even though it's a part of the business, you never want it to happen, especially in a big spot and on a television match. So you were there. Let's talk about the Jade injury first. She got a huge cut over her eyebrow from the stairs, it looked like. Going face first into him. That was a tough thing to see.
Well, I can tell you this. Excuse me. I can only call that a mistake from someone who hadn't been put in that position, before too many times. And the reason I say that, because I was an active wrestler for like 20 plus years, like 24 years or something like that. And I never hit my face on the stairs. That's just not something that ever happened. So I think that's a mistake on, perhaps getting shoved into the stairs is one thing, but protecting yourself, that's something totally different. And one thing about this business is, for me, it's like boxing. You got to protect yourself at all times, just because you don't know what's going to happen in the ring, especially when you're giving your body to someone. You got to be able to protect yourself. So I feel like on both sides, Nia's perspective shooting. I don't know if what was told as far as that went down, but I do know Jay got to protect herself a whole lot better than that.
It was definitely gruesome to see, because as soon as that happened, I didn't know that. I mean, I didn't know in the moment that she had cut it, but as soon as it happened, I go, "Ooh, she's hurt." And then when she got up and I saw the blood dripping, I go, "Oh,
Yeah.
damn, man."
Yeah, I knew it immediately as soon as it happened. I was, it was one of those type of deals. So, it was. You could tell there was a lot of miscommunication in the match as well.
There's definitely a few spots.
You could tell it was a lot of miscommunication. For me, it's no different than we do at Reality of Wrestling with girls, and triple threats and stuff like that. But I think trying to put the girls in the best position to be comfortable in the ring doing that kind of stuff, I think is the most important thing there again, because you got an NIL, talent, Tiffany Stratton. You got, Jade Cargill, who's, pretty much just fresh off of her AEW run. And just think about that time in AEW for her. She probably didn't learn a whole lot because she was, no disrespect or anything, but she was just put on a wing and she really never got a chance to really wrestle anybody. Right. And then you got Nia Jax, who's been there, who's, of course going to feel like, man, I need to quarterback this thing. I feel like I know more than these girls. You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly my point. So it could have been a plethora of things, but you could tell there was a lot of miscommunication. And one thing about matches like that, the last thing that they're going to remember the only thing that they're going to remember is to finish. You know what I mean? So you got to get everybody to that point to where that finish can happen, and boom, it goes off, without a hitch. And that didn't happen. That didn't happen in this match. Was it a botch? Heck yeah, it was a botch. Was it a miscommunication? Was it a screw up? Whatever term you want to put on it. Yes, it was. But one thing I do feel about that kind of stuff, that can't happen on live television.
No.
Like I say, if somebody made a reference to, like, I was making like a really bad comparison when I said I went to go see Hamilton, and how I compared it to wrestling. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I went to go see Hamilton and they was going home and the guy slipped on his butt and he forgot his lines, I think I would be pretty upset about that too. You know what I mean? All of the lines were hit, and all the lines were hit perfectly, especially at the end, because it was Encore and Bravo. So I look at this no different. They went out there and boom, it wasn't a good night. It wasn't a good night at all.
Look, as somebody who's seen stuff like this happen before, where there's the miscommunicado and something goes wrong in the finish, it's obviously, it's one of those things that it makes you go, as somebody who's kind of works on this side of the ball. And even as a fan, something's going on. And I think the key that I learned, and I'm not somebody who's been in the ring, but just I'm saying in live entertainment in general, is you don't ever sell it. Right? Don't sell it. Don't let people know. If the guy in Hamilton slips on and falls on his butt and forgets his lines, he better not sell it like, oh, where are we in the show? Hey, let's improv. Let's make that a part of it, right? Because you talk to stage performers, sometimes they forget the lines. Sometimes something happens. Sometimes the costume falls off, whatever, right? You got to make it a part of the show. And I thought that was more so than the missed three, because I guess the issue was, she goes for the 3 count. The referee doesn't count the 3. Nia actually looks at the ref and says that was the finish, which I thought was like, oh man, there's a camera right there on you, and then makes the decision to kick out about 6 or 7 seconds after that, which again was just like oh man, I'm not trying to pile on, because I know they had a tough night at the office and my heart and sympathies are with them. I'm just saying, from a viewer, you see these things unfolding and you're like, Now, the smartest thing was, hey, that didn't work out. Guess what? We're going right to the finish, brother. We're going to try this again. Tiffany hits her moonsault. 1, 2, 3. We got out of there, and let's get to the business. And we have to step about care. Tiffany Stratton.
I mean, you can't fix something like that, really. I mean, it's happening on
It
live
happened.
television. No, it's happening.
It happened.
It's happening on live television. So, you take it. You try to fix it. You move on. You put it in the rearview mirror, and you get past it. There, in my day, we had botches all the time. We talk about the match I had with Big T, Ahmed Johnson, and he forgot, the spots, in the match. And I tell my brother, man, this dude, he forgot everything. It happens in the ring, and you just try to move on. And I tell you right now, you can't hold on to those matches. You got to put them in
No.
your rearview mirror and move forward. But that's the hard part about today, being able to have something like that happen, and you can't put it in the rearview mirror because you have social media that want to talk about. Do you know how many stories that have been put out on that one topic alone? I mean, hundreds probably. So it's so hard to get away from making your mistakes these days, But I tell those ladies, hey, it's only one match. Put it in the rear view. Let's get better, and let's keep moving forward.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. But you know what? We got to move on to our super chats. This is our last segment of the day. So let's get through as many of these as we can book as time would allow. This one comes from Mike Woodson. We already got to that one. Jake from Windy City. I'm in my 20s. My dreamt to go to WrestleMania once. Go to a hotel at MGM booked, but so defeated with tickets starting at $854. Now I have second thoughts. Friendly advice. Hey, brother, if that's the dream, you can only do it once. That's a lot of money. I didn't know the WrestleMania tickets were $854, but
Yeah.
see if you got a hookup. Find a buddy.
Wait a minute. $854 a ticket, or is that a package?
It says tickets, which is plural. I don't know if that's look, $854 is a lot.
$854 for 2 tickets for Mania?
Sounds like a lot of money. Or you think that's a good amount? That's a fair amount.
But if it's 2 tickets,
If it's two tickets, I can see that.
Tickets, you know what I mean? And you put $800, I mean, come on, that's not a big percentage of the money that you're making per year. I wouldn't imagine. And then again, it could be. But $800, I think that's something if you planning to go to WrestleMania, you might want to put $10 or $20 a week away. You know what I mean? And by the time the year come, you got enough money to go, right?
Right.
It's that simple. But if you just thinking about coming out your check, $800, that might hit you in your pocket a little bit.
Oh, that would hurt.
No, but this is an event, man. This is an event. Things ain't like it used to be. All right, I've been hearing people talking about the ticket prices. Right, about the ticket prices and what you see? What you see? 10 grand?
No, I mean, I'm looking at low. I'm talking about nosebleed seats.
Nosebleed
on Ticketmaster, which were the official home of the WWE tickets for WrestleMania. One ticket, $597.70.
Tell you right now, you might. Sometimes that's what the best view is.
But wait. No, this is what you need to do. Here's my advice. Wait till closer to the show. Because you know what? You go to the show, somebody's got tickets they're going to try to get rid of, and you can come up on a deal.
Yeah. That's my advice.
That'd be my only thing I can help you with.
That's my advice. Or when I was doing the kickoff show, I saw a couple of guys sneak in.
Yeah. You could try that. See how that works out for you.
No, they got all the way in.
I know they got in, but then didn't you stooge them out?
I stooged them off.
You did that.
They stooged themselves off. They shouldn't have been waving at me.
Oh man. Let's go to our next one here. This is from Marcus Craig. Says you on SmackDown with Cole was great. This is from Kai Toenail. Since we didn't get a winner to unify the TNA and NXT titles, do they run that back or do they drop the idea? And do we really need to unify them at all? I will say, what a classic reality of wrestling finish. Didn't we not do this finish?
Yeah, we just did something like that. But no, man, I don't think.
Did we do this with TNA?
Yeah, I did. We did. That was a
unification match, and it was an invasion. And it went crazy, and everything went nuts.
But where did they get the idea?
I wonder where they got that idea from.
Yeah. But no, I don't think we need to see unification match. I think we move on. I think Trick Williams right now doing the TNA thing is good. I think Ricky Saints being the NXT champion right now, I think it's good. I really do. I like Ricky Saints being the champion. I think the shifting of the gears is good. Obafemi's had a hell of a run. Him getting beat, the way he got beat, does nothing as far as negative as far as his career goes. This guy, his loss was just as good as his win, and that right there for me, he get big points for going out there doing that. You just really do not understand how much I appreciate that side more so than the guy going out there winning. So big ups to Obafemi. Yeah.
Awesome. This comes from M Music Book. Since Bad Bunny's performing Super Bowl 60, you make an appearance on stage. Can you dig that? I'll be an extra. Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's possible. This is the biggest chance you've ever had of be performing at the Super Bowl, right?
Oh man, heck yeah. You know what? Like you just said, it's possible. Anything's possible. And damn it, I'm always available when I'm available. All right.
FA Pilot says, what's up, King? Book of the boat. I had to come by the school and I went to one of the events. I know the week I came, it was really busy, but everything happens for a reason. I talked to KB, and also I went to pull back up and I got to chop it up with you, OG. Awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you stopping in. We'll see you at the next practice. And D'Angelo Brown finally says, AJ Styles is retiring in 2026. We have AJ versus Cena one last time at Crown Jewel. Miz wants to have a match with Cena before he retires. Thoughts on that? Well, I love that we're getting AJ and Cena. Well, I think we're like within 5 more dates of John Cena, so I don't know if we're going to get Miz and Cena in there.
Man, Miz, that's on Miz's wish list. Not on mine. Okay, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I'm still seeing who the final opponent for John Cena is going to be. We're coming up on it though. We're just a couple months away from him calling this a career.
Yeah. We got what? How many? 5 good matches out of Cena?
I think
5?
we have 5 dates left. Yeah.
I'm just saying. How many matches have we got out of Cena so far?
I mean, we've gotten a few. We've gotten some really strong ones in these last 4, maybe even strong.
We've got 4, maybe 5 matches.
5, maybe. Real strong.
Didn't we have a conversation as far as John Cena was going to be working every week on television?
No,
didn't we have a conversation? I told you John Cena was going to work about 5 to 6, 8 times. It was going to be. Oh, didn't we
wrestle more than that? I believe.
No, I'm just saying. But let's move on.
Well, that's it. Book. That's it. All right. It's over. It's over with. It's done.
All right. I just want to put that out there. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody. What? Send
them home.
Thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame today. Like I say, got NXT tomorrow. Yeah, and I don't know. Anything can happen on Friday. So just keep your radars up. I tell you what, if anything pop off, I'll send out a tweet. How about that? But I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Eat champagne, which is caviar dream. Brad for all the heavy lifting. Until next time, peace. We love you. We out.